Hey, what is up everyone? I'm Axel, and today I wanted to make like one final video about Nioh 3. And so I asked you guys to tell me if there was anything you want me to address in regards to the Nioh 3 alpha. So yeah, here we go. Dennis goes, maybe your wishlist, hopes or wishes you want them to expand on or add, or perhaps an analysis of the alpha from a speedrunning perspective. Speedrunning, by the way, and speedrun as well, goes without the space because that is faster, the more you know. Okay, so in terms of wishlist, beyond what I just said with the feedback that I sent on the other two videos, I would say mainly I want them to expand a little bit more the character creator. I think the character creator is really good on Nioh 2. But I want to have like more options for longer hairstyles, for example, right? Or maybe just more options for hairstyles, and then you can also just make them longer by themselves, you know, something like that. And more options in general, like maybe accessories and whatnot. So definitely I would like that. Besides that, in regards to my feedback, the most important parts I would say like the ability to turn off tutorials in general, and the liberation of the R2 button, so we can have more options, like we can, you know, use those block plus face buttons to do weapon skills and whatnot. I would say those are my main wishes, I would say, just to get to the top 3. Yeah, something like that. Hopes or wishes you want them to expand on or add, it's more or less the same. Maybe, you know, expanding on to the ninja style and the living artifact. And yeah, besides that, just I guess also, you know, not limiting so much the start of the game. There's people who say they're gonna do it because that way people learn about the stances more properly, more in order, you know. But the issue is that, especially now that we have the ninja style, someone who's new is gonna feel like the samurai style is much slower and clunky and whatnot, and he's gonna just switch to the ninja style because it's like fast and easy to learn. So I feel like it's just gonna be like worse because of that as well. And then, you know, people who know about it and they're not gonna have the tools, and yeah, it's just everything is gonna like just depend more on the ninja style for a while, right? Or just get the skill points, like gather around the skill points in order to get the bare minimum that we feel like we need. Yeah, definitely not ideal in my opinion. Or perhaps an analysis of the alpha from a speedrunning perspective. So I guess I didn't talk about this much because I was focusing on like just pure game experience, you know, gameplay experience department with the feedback. But yeah, I did notice that, for example, if you're in an animation, you cannot menu. That's bad for speedrunning perspective. I would say bad in general, but you know, like casually, you're not gonna notice if you don't try to. It's just gonna be something that is gonna be annoying speedrun wise. I can also say the same about like the menus on Nioh 2 as well, with the learning skills. But the difference here is that in Nioh 2 you could learn skills while you were doing something else, and not while you were like running around, because you know you full stop, like you cannot learn skills when you're moving. And then here is you cannot even do that. So yeah, from a speedrunning perspective, that is pretty bad. Besides that, I'm not too sure. Haven't messed around too much with that. The Gale Force, yeah. The Gale Force is when you beat the alpha for the first time with the Baba. You know, you beat the boss that tells you like, thank you for playing, and then here's a survey feedback and all that stuff. You know, that one. After you do that and you come back to that, you continue, it unlocks the Gale Force and then some other things like dashing and mid jump and whatnot. But the Gale Force actually sheaths your weapon, right? And I did find that if you were using the claws, the talons rather, you could trigger the run animation, toggle the run, and then start dashing fast enough where you would not sheath. It's still an issue later if you take too long to start dashing again. But yeah, on the other weapons, you either had more issues or you cannot do it, period. So yeah, from a speedrunning perspective, that's annoying. Besides that, I think the game has good potential. Routing wise, is going to be interesting to route. We will see how interesting it is to route. I would say if for whatever reason it is optimal to route in some fights on the map for skill points or for certain good soul core or something like that, that'll be pretty nice. So yeah, something that where routing actually makes a difference. Because for example in Nioh 1 and 2, routing does make a difference, but it's mainly like this: what do you get on the way to the boss, right? And then what skills you prioritize. And then here it would be more like, okay, what are the tools you need before you get to the boss, on the overworld or on the mission or whatever. And then you maybe do some extra things because of that. We will see how it goes. It could be interesting. So YouTube with a lot of views. You could talk about solutions for how to make the open world work. It's technically, by the way, it's not really open world. I did make that mistake on the feedback video on the first one. It's open field. So with that, what I think they mean is that it is not going to be organized like your typical open world. Is more like, it's probably going to be something closer to what I mentioned in the past. I don't know in what video, about what they could change, and they could improve and all that stuff, to make it so like each region it's like a big area instead. So it's probably similar to that. I don't know. Without destroying the carefully made levels of previous Niohs, for example, in theory the exact same levels as Nioh 2 could exist, with extra verticality due to the jump, and the open world would connect the levels together. I think what we're gonna have is that mainly almost all main missions are just gonna be like certain places like crucibles, castles, or whatnot, where you're gonna get to that and you're gonna enter that main mission. Hopefully, by the way, they fix the load times. They were pretty long on this alpha, but again, it's an alpha, so it's understandable. I didn't mention it because of that. And then for the rest, it's just gonna be like side missions that you do on the map for the most part. They could make like a little bit of a mix. Like we're having something similar to what would it happen if you put like the side missions and the items on the map that you had in like Nioh 1 and 2, especially in Nioh 2. Remember that you could like go around the map and just pick up certain things on the map, like with the cursor, but in an open field concept, right? Something similar to that, I would say. I think mission levels wise, I think it's gonna be completely fine. I don't know. I don't think it will be like an issue. Then again, I'm not focused too much on level design or world design. I feel like that's just something that I don't focus too much on. I prefer to focus on the actual, like pure gameplay loop and the combat. That's the most important part for me. So yeah. Another way is to have something like Abyss, Underworld, Depths of the Underworld. That would be close levels. I mean, you could just make it like a different region altogether, I would say. Something like that. And also, how would NG Plus and so on even work in an open world game? I forgot to do this. Maybe there would be multiple open worlds for each difficulty level. Well, I don't know what you mean exactly by that, but multiple open worlds, if you mean like making an entire new region for each difficulty level, that's just not gonna happen. Like, it's just wasting a ton of resources for that kind of function. So I think it's just gonna be working like pretty much the same as it works in Nioh 1 and 2. It's just, instead of like missions. It's just gonna be like the world itself and the missions as well. You could say like maybe you can switch the difficulty level, the NG plus thing around, the way of the samurai or dream, whatever. Dream of the samurai, strong, demon, wise, and Nioh. You can just warp between them, just like we could in the other ones, on the other games. And yeah, it's just in a different concept, but it's basically the same idea. I don't see why that wouldn't happen. And Rob Smith 5434. Honestly, my only major issue was the graphics. The gameplay was awesome. Yes, gameplay is great, but I don't see what the problem is with the graphics. Like they look great to me. Like do you want to be like super omega realistic, so like it just destroys the performance or something? Because I don't know, it's just, to me they look great already. Like I don't need more. Like if you have more, while not like hurting your performance, that's fine, but I'm not gonna worry about it. Like even if I could make it look a little bit better, I would not notice too much, honestly. Like I don't know what kind of standards you have, but yeah, I feel like I don't really need to go further than that. Shinji Joe 5520. If samurai ninja text refers to styles skill, then what about warrior text you get after beating the horse boss? Is it a new style hint they gave us, or is it a skill for both? You choose ninja or samurai. It's not a skill for both. It's not a style hint or anything like that. It's just a global thing. Like you see, like when you go to the skill management on the shrine in this alpha, you had ninja, samurai, and you had general, right? I don't know if maybe it was general first, whatever. It's on general. It's that one. That's it. That's what it is. Bro, if you like Nioh 3, you should check out Nioh 2, bro. You would like it. I don't know, man. I don't think like I would like Nioh 2 as much, I think it's just not... I cannot really play it that much, Like I don't think I would be able to play it like over 2,000 hours or something like that. Let's not even say like over 3,000 maybe. I don't know. It's just... I'm just gonna wait for Nioh 3. Yeah, definitely a very, very useful comment. Very, very insightful. So with this, we have addressed several of the concerns that you guys had. I could go on to the other videos with the comments, but there's a lot of comments and the video would be way too long. I already tried and it was way too long. By the way, thank you very much for the reception of those videos. I'm very glad that it caught on well for the most part. There were some people who maybe were not as agreeable, but yeah, in general, it had good reception. I'm very happy about it. It's not like a viral video or anything like that, but I don't need it to be. And yeah, thank you for letting me know your thoughts on them. And yeah, it's been quite the experience to go through them. Yeah, maybe I'll do some more Q&A soon. We will see. By the way, the next video after this one is going to be the Nioh 2 pure Tonfa run, because I didn't upload it because Nioh 3 stuff came out and I was just focusing on this. So yeah, look forward to that. On Monday, I think I will play the Ninja Gaiden Ragebound demo, and then from Tuesday to Saturday, I think I'll not be around. I'll be in Mallorca, just a small vacation, and I'll also be watching the the quarterfinals and the semifinals of the Open of Mallorca. So yeah, well, I'm not gonna be home for a while. I'm gonna be uploading the pure Tonfa run, so you guys can watch it meanwhile. No streams, of course, while I do that. And before I end this video, I'm gonna show you guys some footage that I got from the last day of the alpha, while I was doing some no damage bosses, just for the kick of it. Didn't know what else to do at that point, honestly. Yeah, I did not do any kind of feedback regarding that, but I do definitely notice that the loading times are not as optimal as they could be. Good fuck. Pretty easy, honestly. In general. The counter, you know, the style switch counter thing, and nothing happens. I was like, yo, cool. Same, right there, after dodging, I tried to switch, nothing happened. Get fucked. That was Crusher, right? If it wasn't, I don't care. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video and see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.